welcome into the Bullpen National Chicken Wing Day. Brobes is holding one up right now. We're audio only today because we had a little bit of difficulty, but we're all here. We've got Brobes in the house, Ito's here, special guest, Drew Rudnick in the house. JP's off today. He's preparing for his tanning in Rio, so he had to get home and lay down the base coat.
How bummed are you that you're now surrounded by Sun Devils?
It's a sad day, but I did, before the show started, I did get him to take a shot for the Sun Devils losing. This is Evan, you
can watch that video on the...
We're out here at the Firehouse in Sunnyvale enjoying some brews and wings. Throughout the day, I'll be trying these habanero wings. Anybody else jump in if you want?
Nope.
Every time you have these habanero wings when we come here, you bitch about how hot they are. So why would we have them?
It's part of the National Chicken Wing Day tradition. Since Brobe and I started 4 years ago, we came here.
Was it 4 years ago?
4 years ago now. Well, this is the fourth one.
Okay.
It's 3 years ago, but this is the fourth one. Wow. It was just after we started.
We started working together,
Yeah.
And to jump in here,
this is Drew, by the way.
To jump in here, I'd like to thank my ASU brethren, and not to quote my favorite rapper, LL Cool J, but it's been a triumphant comeback. The first time being recorded since 2010. So
you still got the voice.
Yeah,
it comes through very well.
Nice. Anyway, let's get into something that matters. So NFL camps are opening. They've opened this week or earlier this month, in fact. But the preseason games will start. We'll have the Hall of Fame game coming up. We've got a couple of fan bases here. Of course,
doesn't love the Hall of Fame.
Brobes is obviously a Vikings fan. Drew, Ito, and I are all Niners fans. But Brobes, let's start with you. What's your outlook right now going into camp, preseason? How are you feeling? I know you're feeling pretty good actually about the Vikes right now.
It's always a cautious optimism thing when it comes to the Vikings. New stadium, pumped for that. Can't wait to go. We're actually going to a preseason game, and then a few weeks later going to the regular season opener against the Packers.
Yeah.
Coach just got a contract extension. Love that. Love Zim. Thank you to the 5 or 6 teams that interviewed him and passed on him. I think the Lions and the Buccaneers and the Browns and the Titans and the Texans, I think they were all in that mix. And they all interviewed him, said no thank you. He's come in and he's kind of turned the culture around in that team. But again, I stay cautiously optimistic because they are the Vikings.
They did lose to the 49ers last year in week 1.
They did. Also true.
Yes. I was going to say, they'll say all the same things about Chip Kelly someday, right? I mean, no, they won't actually. That won't happen.
Of course.
Okay.
Are you saying he's not the greatest football coach of all time?
Greatest Oregon football coach of all time.
That's probably true. Yeah.
I'll give you that. Mike Bellatti's probably the one.
Are you questioning Jed York's judgment?
Only when he goes to dinner with Tim Kawakami. I question his judgment.
Great response.
We've clearly transitioned to the 49ers. Drew, what do you think? What do you think about what we've got going? I know Anthony Davis says he wants to come back now after a year off. I don't know if that makes a difference or not as far as the decor goes. What do you think is going to happen here for the 49ers?
They need talent. They need players. They didn't have a lot of that the last couple of years.
Clearly.
And so the more people you have with talent on the field at one time, that could transit. I mean, it's like if you score more points than the team, you're probably going to win. If you have more talent on the field,
Thank you, John Madden.
I think if you score more points than the other team, you're going to win.
You're probably going to win the game.
But they just didn't have a lot of talent. They didn't have any good players. Name other than Carlos Hyde.
True.
Name like 3 and Navarro Bowman.
Yep.
And Eric Reed.
Well, you just named 3.
There it is. Name 3 more.
But can you name a good receiver on the team? Could you? I mean, who was Blaine Gabbert going to throw to? Who was going to block for Blaine Gabbert?
Padden? What about Padden?
Quentin Patton.
Quentin Patton is
former Louisiana Tech grade.
He's so good I couldn't even remember his first name. So,
you thought it was General.
Exactly. I thought it was General. I should just call him General.
So, Ito, what do you think here, looking at the Niners this season?
There is no doubt in my mind that this will be the last place team in the NFC West this season.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
I would agree with that.
I can see the Rams surprising people and maybe getting to 9-7 this year. They let go of Nick Foles. You've got Goff, who looks like could probably beat out Case Keenum for the starting job from day one. It's going to be interesting to see how Gurley produces, having missed a few games last year, but still finishing 3rd in the league in rushing, I think it was. San Francisco's got very little reason to be optimistic.
I think a third of those running yards came against the Vikings in week 1.
That's true.
That
was true.
The field will be in great condition. Pristine condition.
All right.
The LA Coliseum is a modern marvel. I mean, we know that.
1 habanero wing down, by the way. Tongue's
Good job,
burning.
Dano.
And can I a good quick shout out to Tiffany, who was very sad when the Facebook Live did not work out, but she will.
Sorry,
be listening
Tiffany.
on
We
audio.
will. We'll get that up. We'll get that up later today. So, Brobes, looking at the NFC North, from as Evan did, what do you foresee for the Vikings here?
Well,
Can they compete?
It's Vikings
Can
and
they win
Packers.
it?
I mean, that's.
But
really,
can they beat the Packers?
I mean, I think they can, but I also think the Packers can beat the Vikings. They'll split.
Probably.
Packers will win in Green Bay. Vikings will win in Minnesota. It just comes down to how they play against the other teams. It's very tough. I don't think they want to say that the Lions and the Bears are improved, and yes, they are. But you can't really go much further than when you're picking in the top 10. There's really only kind of one way to go, but up. Sorry, I wasn't trying to look at you directly when I said that.
Fine.
But
I'm good. I'm gonna grab a
but
nap.
yeah, I'm not worried about the Bears and the Lions. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably stub their toe maybe against the Lions or the Bears one time during the year, because it kind of always happens in the NFC North. It's division games. You always throw the records out the window when that happens, but it's the work that they want to put in, and do they want to get better? Do they buy in? They didn't make a big splash in free agency, the Vikings didn't, but they filled the holes they needed to. They improved the offensive line. They got Bridgewater another weapon on the outside. If they can stay healthy, if that defense can stay healthy, they've got a legit shot not only of winning the North, but of actually making a run, maybe winning a playoff game and taking that next step this year.
Speaking of the Packers, am I safe to assume I'm the only one who watches The Bachelorette here?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you're safe. That's safe. That's safe.
All right.
Two habaneros down, by the way. 2 habaneros down.
The only point I wanted to make on that was the fact that clearly Aaron Rodgers is not only hated in Minnesota, he's hated in his own family, if you've been following along. So just want to throw that.
Hey, us Vikings fans, we were onto something.
Hold on, I gotta ask him. So Evan's fiance Lindsay is here. Lindsay, do you force him to watch The Bachelorette, or is it his idea most of the time?
She's shaking her head.
Is
no.
it on DVR or is it live?
It is on DVR, and sometimes it's my suggestion, but sometimes he reminds me that we have an episode to watch. So I'll say 50-50. We do have another episode, by the way. Finale's next week.
Now, Evan, the only way you can save yourself. Well, actually, I'm gonna let you save yourself.
Coming
first.
next week on the Bullpen podcast, the Bullpen spinoff Bachelorette podcast with Evan and
girl.
Lindsay.
The bullpen in paradise.
Yeah, exactly. Bullpen from Rio.
And we're going to break it down.
Yeah,
Segment by segment.
Here's the reason why I do enjoy watching those
Rose
shows,
by rose.
is that
Mike Steinberg, baby.
Mike Steinberg. Shout out to Steiny.
my next career step could be being Chris Harrison. I could totally do that. I'll be. He was a former sports anchor. He was a sports reporter.
Any
I
relation
can
to
see
Marvin?
that. I could see that.
No relation to Marvin Harrison.
You do give the inquisitive look after you ask something sometimes.
Yes.
You just
And I'd probably get a really good wardrobe check
Yeah?
as part of the deal, so I'd get some nice suits,
That'd be
which
nice.
would be key. I'd totally turn this thing 180 degrees.
what the
All right,
hell?
so
Sorry.
The
glad we're
Bachelorette.
not
If
on-
you
I'm
need
glad-
anything during Sunday nights during the Bachelorette, just tweet at YSportsEvan.
Mondays.
Monday nights, sorry.
All over it.
Clearly, I know when it's on. No, but anyway, just back to the NFL for just a second. We think that
Darn.
the Vikings might make a little run. Who do we see other than that? Who are the two teams
The
that
dark horse. The dark
yeah, who are the
horse
two
team.
teams that we don't see coming this year? Drew, let's start with you. What do you think? I know it's hard to say before training camp.
And this is a total shot in the dark, but I think with Tom Brady out for the first 4 games, that there is a huge gap in the AFC East, and I do believe that the Miami Dolphins under Ryan Tannehill
I've
Of
heard
all
this
people,
before.
yes.
could possibly be that team that makes that next step.
That's a good surprise.
However, the Harvard kid Ryan Fitzpatrick did sign this week, but I do
Harvard kid.
believe that a team from South Beach
35 years old. The Harvard.
and I should probably back up here because now that I say that, I think it could be the Buffalo Bills. It's one of those.
So
It could be any
basically,
other team in the
all
NFC.
4 teams
I mean, the
in
AFC,
the
I'm sorry.
AFC East will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
That's my pick.
Noted.
You heard it here first
Write it
from
down.
Drew Rednick.
It's
They
a-
will create a super team a la the Golden State Warriors.
It's a lock.
We'll do our.
Stone cold lock.
We'll obviously do our NFL predictions and picks after the games, but who do you think right now that, just on paper, kind of looks like they might make a run?
I like the Patriots even without Brady the first 4 weeks.
Oh wow, way to go
Okay.
with the chalk there.
No, I'm going chalk. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, Arizona, Miami,
Arizona-
Houston, and
I also
Buffalo.
think
Well,
the
you're using
sky will
notes,
be
not
blue
answers.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going Dragons.
It might be gray. It's the Bay Area. There's fog. It might be.
Arizona is always the dark horse. They always have all these
No,
players.
Arizona will screw it up.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I was
They'll
going to
blow it in
ask,
the night.
ask
They'll
about the
blow it
NFC
in
West
the
a little bit. You mentioned the Rams. Where does Seattle fall? Are they? I mean, are they still a
They're
playoff
still
team?
in it.
You still think
Well-
they're a playoff team without Marshawn and like the whole?
With Pete Carroll and his Steph Curry.
First of all,
shoes.
they cheated twice last year and won. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, they
Well,
got
they won an NFC Championship game by cheating, so that's
Well,
cool
and
too.
they also
allegedly. Sorry, I should throw that in there. Nothing was proven.
All right, going habanero again.
If you want to go Final Four in the NFC, you go Green Bay, Arizona, Seattle, and Carolina. One of those four is going to come out of the conference in the NFC. And then if you look at the AFC, New England, I think even you could still give Denver a shot, even with a guy like Sanchez, because Peyton was almost Mark Sanchez-like last
You know,
year. And if
I
that
am
defense
shocked.
plays like it did.
I am shocked neither of you are
Well,
picking the Houston Texans.
God, you didn't let me say it. I was just gonna jump in. Like you're hogging the damn mic.
Hey,
I was
Drew.
gonna say
Drew.
the Houston Texans.
And I was going to say because
Because former Arizona State great Brock Osweiler at the helm.
Good God.
He's got weapons. They've got a
Jalen
running game.
Strong.
As long as J.J. Watt's back is okay, the defense will be there.
Hey,
Their
man.
division is soft.
Can we get some David Fales in Chicago?
No, because it's Chicago. Even Lindsay will agree with me on that one. Chicago.
Well, we got a long way to go in the NFL season. We'll get to a lot more before the season
Drew,
starts.
you got something else to say?
got one more?
I've already been punched. I mean, it's.
I didn't. I just slapped.
We need more beer.
It was a punch slap.
We need more beer. You need more.
I am
whiskey.
not drinking.
Yeah, clearly not.
am not.
All right, so Evan and Brandon are taking off for Rio in a couple of days, so we will be slightly on hiatus. We might get some fresh
Oh,
takes from Rio.
We'll try, if we got a good Wi-Fi signal,
yeah.
unlike today, we'll try
But-
to get a pod done in Rio.
But looking at these games, what are you guys like most excited about? Like, what are you looking forward to? You guys will be there, so you have your specialties, what you're going to be working on. But what are you kind of excited as a fan to take part in and to view?
I want to see if anyone can step up and challenge Usain Bolt, considering the
that's
fact
cool.
that he's getting closer to 100%. He's got the point. Drew's got it down. He's been practicing it clearly.
Well, I'm fast.
Because you are fast. He competed in London in
Remember
the
your wife?
anniversary
Your
games a
girlfriend.
couple weeks ago. He ran a couple weeks ago in London and looked like 80%. It still looked really good.
Yep.
I'll
You want another beer?
Pale ale, please.
Yeah. Sorry, hold on a second. We're ordering beer. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Gotta order beer. Usain Bolt would not be drinking pale ale in Rio. I'll give you
He could
that.
probably still kick everybody's
That's
ass.
probably true.
Yeah, he could probably finish the beer after the race starts and still get there.
That should be a video idea. We should take down more of
I
those.
like that. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see if he gets to 100% by the 100-meter final, and two, can anyone, Johan Blake, Justin Gatlin, wild card, step up and challenge him?
Drew, what do you think? What are you looking forward to?
I like the odd sports. You know, and I guess now I think of the odd sports as like the traditional. I want to see the decathlon. I want to see stuff like that, and I want to see. To me, that's like for the Olympic style sports. That's like the real athlete. You know, that's what I mean. Basketball's great, and we have the best team in the world. But I don't want to see them score 190 points. I want to see guys. I want to see somebody challenge Bolt, right? I want to see somebody throw the javelin. I want to see someone do the 200, the 400. See someone do the 200, the 400. You know,
Well, I mean-
that's what's exciting to me.
That's absolutely true. I mean, the decathlon really is the athlete sport, right? Because you have to do all those things, like Jenner, right? For example, Bruce Jenner. I'm more into. I really like the team sports.
Caitlyn Jenner?
Exactly, Caitlyn. I'm sorry, but Bruce at the time. I really like the team sports. I'm looking forward to. I tell you what, when I cover high
Team
school sports,
handball.
handball not so much. There's no U.S. team in
No,
handball.
I'm
That's got a
serious.
lot of energy, though.
No, it's
actually.
fun to
I
watch,
freaking
but
love
there's
me
no
some
U.S. team in
handball.
handball, so I
Like if
probably
I get
won't
tickets
watch
to
it.
one event because I know I'm not going to get tickets to any of the major ones.
That's
'cause,
true.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to go to handball.
Handball is cool. I was thinking more like water polo. Like I don't know if you've covered water polo or watched it.
Water handball.
Water handball is very exciting, but we have teams, so it makes it more exciting.
But he likes water.
So shout out to my wife. I will be watching the women's field hockey team. She's a field hockey
Hey,
nut.
I like field hockey.
So I'm zero. I mean, all the stuff that I'm going to see in prime time, which is going to be track, gymnastics, what else? Beach volleyball. You'll see that in prime time. Don't worry about that. Like I'm really excited to watch live, since that's the only thing we're going to see live, is the team sports.
And the benefit of us being on the West Coast, we're 4 hours behind, so it's relatively still easy to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Bros, what do you think?
For me, I'm interested to see how many gold medals. I'm interested to see if the women's U.S. gymnastics team just sweeps all the possible gold medals, because they are so far and above, just all the other countries in terms of just their team. They could have fielded a second team and probably have competed and done better than a lot of these other teams.
Both medals,
So I'm interested to see how many gold medals they win. The individual all around. Unfortunately, you can only have 2 to compete in there. If they had 3. They might have had a shot to sweep all 3 medals. That's so good. So I'm interested to see how dominant they're going to be, and if that pressure kind of gets to them, if they fumble a little bit, slip off of a beam.
Why are we so good at gymnastics?
I don't know. The Corollis.
That's a good question. Why are we so good?
They're going for their 7th straight team medal, the women's gymnastics team. So
Team medal, right?
Team medal in the team competition for the ladies. So this has been even before the Corollis, they've just been great. But I don't know how you answer that. It's just kind of something that.
Why is it a focal point? Why is it like ice skating? Why do we care? Not to say that we shouldn't care, but why is it like that sport? Why not swimming?
I think swimming's a big deal too, but I agree with you. It's weird because gymnastics becomes this big thing for 3 weeks, and then after that, I'd say how many? There's 6 girls on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
5 of them are going to disappear. And
right.
One of them's going to have something. Someone's going to be a Sean John and go do Dancing with the Stars and do all the pub and then work for Yahoo and do the whole thing, right? But you're right. It's the same thing with the Winter Olympics, too. The skiers, you watch them, you like them. Skating example.
What's Bodie Miller doing right now?
Who knows? But he'll be back to do analysis in North Korea. South Korea. Sorry. Won't be in North Korea, clearly.
He may not be coming back. Unless he's Dennis Rodman.
It wouldn't shock me if the IOC awarded an Olympics to North Korea.
Really?
No. Well, Russia's gotten one, and Brazil got one, despite all the unrest and all the uncertainty. So
wait, so North Korea is the next winter one? That's South Korea. South Korea's winner, and then who's got the 2020 summer?
Japan.
That's right. Okay. So we'll look forward to the heat in Japan.
Here's another thing.
Okay.
I don't think the Olympics has much of a future anymore. Because if you think about it, you have all the, at least not internationally because these cities they don't have the infrastructure to hold people coming in. If you did it in Chicago or you did it in New York or you did it in Dallas or you did it in LA, it would be, and you could do it all. We were talking the other night. You could literally host a World Cup in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You have Cal, you have Stanford, you have Avaya, you have Levi, you have AT&T, and you have the Coliseum.
Yeah, you could.
You could host the World Cup in the Bay Area.
Right.
Why go to all these places?
It's all about bribery and corruption and money.
And build stuff up that's never going to use again.
Like in Russia, when we went to the Olympics in Russia, they built that big stadium to host the opening and closing ceremonies, and then it's just sitting there waiting for the World Cup to come.
They may have done a Formula One race.
Yeah.
That went through. Remember the route? There was a huge circle around where the flame was.
But even then,
what use is that really?
And I have to apologize to my San Jose State brethren. I forgot Spartan Stadium. You could really host a game there.
That's where you put Group E, the Group E play-in match. This is the hops right here.
Nigeria versus Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Home of the greatest San Jose goal ever, Eric Winaldo, for the clash against DC
How about
United.
the greatest upset in college football ever when San Jose State knocked off number 12 TCU with LaDainian Tomlinson?
Up top.
I was at that game. In fact, I rushed the field.
I finally feel like I have some support somewhere. Well, actually, speaking of San Jose, let's talk a little bit about San Jose State since you're here. News comes out this week. Tyler Winston, wide receiver, is going to be ineligible this year because of academics. How many games do the Spartans win? Go.
I'm going to say less than 6.
5? Enough to get a bowl game?
No, I don't. They might. They recruit on a different level than Stanford or Cal, but the attraction to the Bay Area and San Jose State, and to be able to play right away, that's got to be huge for kids that may not be grade A or grade B athletes, but can compete at that level. And why not stay here locally than go to no offense to my mom, Fresno, or schools kind of out in the middle of nowhere when you can be in the Bay Area.
I'm with you. I'm going to let you go back to the comfort zone. Sun Devils, real quick, guys. What do we think? We'll get into the full
real
season
quick,
when we get back.
before we move on to the Sun Devils,
okay.
I would also like to point out that the sleeper team, the Houston Texans, who did they draft this year? Tyler Irvin, former.
Appreciate that. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's not just the
I
former.
mean, I wish he
Arizona
would have
State
stayed another
guys.
year, but that's cool.
We're on record now. If Brandon stole my pick of a sleeper as the Houston Texans, so.
He was asked first, and then he went and had another turn before I even got one. I mean, I know you got to give the new guy a little love, but
I didn't see any rules.
what about a founding father here? Like,
What do you
changing the rules as we go?
What do you guys think of the Sun Devils this year? Just real quick, and we'll move on to
quarterback.
to the fun stuff.
It's all down the quarterback. Who's it going to be? They're going to stick with one, and they're going to go with a rotation with from CTG, Coach Todd Graham. So people know non-Sun Devils don't know what I mean when I say that.
No, we don't.
They'll be lucky to win 7 games this year.
What do you think?
See, I think it all falls on defense. They haven't been able to stop anybody in like 3 years, right? So,
Just got to outshoot them.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
I just
Graham's done a good job of like.
I have a difficult time watching the spread offense.
Well, that's
really
all.
do.
That's all that.
I really
college
do
football
because
runs
they
nowadays.
throw the ball from sideline to sideline and they look for a hole as opposed to like running a pro style offense, and that's really discouraging to watch. At least in my opinion.
Yeah,
IMHO.
Probes, what do you think?
I think they win 8 games.
8?
I think they'll figure out a quarterback. You know, it's nice to have that many to choose from. I really, like. I know he's probably not going to win the battle. I know Brady White and Manny Wilkins probably have the upper hand, but I really would love to see what Dylan Sterling Cole has. He's such a physically just big kid. You know, kind of like a Cam Newton build. I'm not going to compare him to Cam Newton because that was a special college talent, a special NFL talent. But he has that kind of build.
Probably got special pay too.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too, though. Like they have all these quarterbacks in here. Like, you know, some of these guys could have gone elsewhere. So like they want to compete. They want to battle against each other. Their running game's going to be great with Balaj and Richard. The receivers are going to be, you know, who's going to step up and make plays on the outside. The defense, like, yeah, it's got its flaws, but I think Graham is really got his guys in there that he wants, and he'll get after it. And every year that they're predicted to not do well, they do well. So, yeah.
It's been about a 15-year trend.
If JP was here, he would say USC is going to win 13 games.
They would win 20 games.
Yeah, that's right, 20 games. So JP, we'll break down college football for you when we get back for the
I
real
just have
deal.
to throw it in there. How do you know somebody either went to USC or is a USC fan?
Here it comes.
That's all they talk about.
That's true, and that is true. Right on.
And 90% of the time, as in JP's case, they didn't even go to USC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Although he audited a class.
That is true, also. Bros, you were showing me this earlier. So the Seahawks are going to put out a special bobblehead.
No. Yes, Cal.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cal. That's right. I take that back.
Yes.
Cal is going to put out a special bobblehead featuring Marshawn Lynch on the golf cart from that infamous scene when he drove the golf cart. So the random shot this week on the Bullpen podcast, with no knowledge whatsoever, Drew's going to take the first stab at it. What is one sports moment or one iconic thing that you would think should be a bobblehead? That you would actually like want to have that bobblehead?
Oh yeah, personal to you.
Personal
it
to
might
you,
not
absolutely.
be like great for everybody.
And if
but
you want me to start, I'll
personal
start.
It's
Dead air is what it is. More beer.
Matt Duffy, 2012, scoring from second base on a wild pitch in the NLCS against the Cardinals.
Good one. Very, very good one.
Because I
Two
was
Giants
yelling
fans at
and
the table.
screaming.
I know exactly that moment. That was a great moment.
That's heads up
So
baseball.
what would you want to see actually on the bobblehead?
Him sliding
into
across
home?
him,
Yeah, perfect.
or it'd be a two-person bobblehead with Flannery waving him around third.
And just like flailing
Yeah,
his
see, I
arms.
think you can use the two-person
Absolutely,
bobblehead.
absolutely. Bros, what do you think?
Okay, so my first one is the infamous.
Of 6,
and this
by
is,
the way.
This is going back to college football. My first one is the infamous Vontaze Burfict pointing
Yes.
at Matt Barkley.
Yes.
So it's got to be a dual bobblehead where Vontaze is nodding yes and Barkley's going no. And then if I had a second one, it'd be Randy Moss fake mooning all the Packers fans in the playoff game.
That's a great one.
And then,
Like the little.
but instead of his head, it'd be his ass.
Is
that
that
would jiggle.
jiggle? Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I don't know why. I always think of this play as like one of my great moments for me in the Sharks history is when Nabokov scored his goal. But he didn't do like a signature move after. He kind of just did when he scored. So that's all it would be. It would just be with this little stick there in the puck.
Could it have a sound on
Sure.
it too?
Let's do a sound
little
effect.
Dan Harris.
Yeah, I don't have a real good one other than that. Yeah, and this is a Sharks fan. That's probably what I'd go with. Maybe something from this last postseason, but since it didn't end well.
Maybe like hurdle.
Yeah.
Hurdle between the legs would be cool.
Yeah.
Joe Thornton sliding after the winning against the Kings in overtime a couple years ago.
Nabokov was better.
All right.
All right, what do you think, Ev?
Well, I'm the golf guy, right?
Oh, boy.
So, Tiger.
Hold on, viewership dropping. Go. I'm just kidding, go ahead.
Actually, Evan and I competed in high school in golf against each other.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Story time with Drew later.
Yeah. That'll be the post show.
Remember that time at Sonoma Country Club when I shanked that thing out on back?
So being the golf guy, Tiger Woods in the Escalade.
So this is a dual one?
This is the dual one. Crashed into the tree, and then you got little blonde Elin running, slamming the back window with a 3-iron. And Tiger, the door's open, and Tiger's stumbling out of the driver's side.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's great.
All right, well, actually, that would probably do really well. We should probably look at him.
Yeah.
I'd buy 1,000 of those.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I thought you were going to go with Ty Webb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe paint.
Okay, so the last thing we'll do here before we wrap it up, we are 3 habaneros in. Anybody want one of these habaneros,
Nope,
by the way?
those are all you,
sure?
Dano.
They're not, it's not bad, actually. I'm doing pretty good.
We'll take care of you tonight. don't
Okay,
worry.
so this week, SI put out their top 101 pro wrestlers of all time.
Oh,
So Brobes,
Viewership dropping.
yeah, Brobes is exactly. Brobes is like the guy here. JP would be able to mix in as well, but you guys chip in. You guys are gonna know some names as well. We're gonna try to guess the top 10.
Top 10?
I have the top 10.
All
Actually, I
time.
have more than that, but
All time?
of all time, the top.
Okay.
And it is mostly WWE, but
yeah.
professional
Well, now
wrestlers.
they own
Exactly
everything.
right. So, all right. So here we go. This is the list.
Okay.
Brobes, you're on the clock.
Hogan.
Okay, Hogan is actually number 8. If you can
Okay,
believe
well, he's
that.
on the list.
He's on the list. So we're looking at the top 10. If we were on Facebook, we would say guess, but since we're not, guess at home.
Undertaker.
Undertaker number 5. You guys have any
Okay.
guesses? Get some guesses in. Hold on, Brobes.
Brett the Hitman Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart, not even in the top
Oh,
10.
that's a shame.
No, he was top 20 though.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold is number 3.
Yeah, Stone Cold has to be.
Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate
Yep.
Warrior, not in the top 10.
This is a shitty list right off the bat.
No,
If
actually,
no
they had him.
Hitman
They-
and no
okay,
Warrior.
I
in the top 10?
read the Ultimate Warrior because I was curious why he was in the 30s, and it was because he really wasn't that good a wrestler. He was just
His character was
he
phenomenal.
was the character.
He was so
that's all it was.
inspirational.
So they're talking about professional wrestlers. So
Okay.
I'm
How
gonna
about-
take
How
that
about,
into
how
account.
about Hacksaw
Jim Duggan also did not make the list.
He's got the greatest. He's got the
It
greatest.
was
run
awesome.
outside of all time.
I loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
I own a 2x4.
but in that
Okay.
same vein,
Okay. So is The Rock on there?
The Rock is 4.
Yeah.
Where is his
Please,
eyebrow on the list?
please tell me John Cena is not on this list.
He is not in the top 10. He was on the list. I think he was
Okay.
top 20.
Triple H.
Triple H not on this
Okay.
list.
Now, is this wrestlers in terms of their WWE
Oh,
ability?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is number 1.
What numbers are we missing?
Okay, so here's what we have.
2,
We have
3,
Flair at 1. We have Stone Cold at 3. Rock at 4.
Okay.
Did somebody say? Well, I don't know if I
Okay.
did. Hogan's 8. That's all we got so far.
And we have Taker.
Oh, Taker's 5. Yeah.
Shawn Michaels?
Shawn Michaels 2.
Yeah.
What?
That's a good
Shawn
one.
Michaels number 2. And
Pretty
actually,
Boy?
I have to say, the Heartbreak Kid.
Yes.
He.
Oh, that's right. The
He
Pretty
was
Boy
actually.
was,
he was one of
he
the
was a
first
great-
wrestlers I didn't like.
He was
because I was a Bret Hart fan.
and that's why he was great.
Yeah,
That's why
he was like.
great.
I mean, like when you're Hogan, you don't like. I mean, you don't like everybody if you're a Hogan fan, and I was a Hogan fan. But then Shawn Michaels came along, and then the Bret Hart thing was really. I really enjoyed that era.
Is
The
Sting
Intercollegiate
on
Champion,
there?
Intercontinental.
Sting is number 9. Good call. Good call.
How about okay, now I'm blanking. It's
Wait,
Superfly Jimmy Snuka, is that what you're trying to think of?
I have no idea who that is.
Macho Man Randy Savage?
That's what I was
the,
gonna say.
the Macho Man. He was number 11 actually. Did he ask about him?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. He doesn't. He can't guess that one.
You see him
You
a
got
lot
Sting.
lately.
Yeah, he's been around a lot lately. ESPYs. So we got Flair at 1.
I don't watch the ESPYs.
Shawn Michaels 2, Stone Cold 3, Rock 4, Undertaker 5, 6 is still open, 7 is still open, and 10 is still open.
Man. trying to think of just guys who.
You got to think really old for one of them.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, number 10. Good call.
Good call. Yeah, I was
Even older than that, though.
Yeah. Even
Actually,
longer
same
than
era.
Bob Backlund's not on this list, is he?
No, but I was surprised he wasn't higher.
Yeah. I mean,
The other
he
guy that I
held
was
the
surprised
world
wasn't higher
championship the
was
longest.
shoot, really old dude. The first WWF champion. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'll give you a hint.
It doesn't matter.
Number seven was, since all the rest are kind of obscure, number 7 was John Cena.
I asked. Oh, I was going to ask if John Cena is on this list. I told you. I said, is John Cena on this list? Like,
So I asked him if you had said that. I'm sorry.
okay. No,
so
it's
then
okay.
he was number 7. Number 6, last guesses?
How old are we looking?
Old. Babyface.
Babyface.
He's the singer.
Long Curlies.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes. There it is. So those are your top 10. Anyway, that'd be kind of fun that they put that out this week.
That was good.
Top 100.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that John Cena is on
If you
that
want to
list.
go to SI and check that out and see 20 through the rest.
That's great.
Some interesting reasons why those
great.
guys were ranked where they were.
I mean, I get the Rock. I mean, I get Cena because they push him so much.
Yeah.
But the fact that Hogan isn't like one, like
Well, but
he
see,
was
it's-
everybody's guy when I was younger. He was the guy.
Of course, he's in movies and, like
the fact that
Hulkamania.
Warriors
and
on there,
everybody
like,
had
or
the
Bret
action
Hart,
figures.
like, that's a shame. Bret was one of the most
Mr.
technically
Perfect.
sound. Kurt Hennig, yeah. That was a good one, Dano.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this edition of the Bullpen Podcast. There's some more habanero wings. Are you going to get on these, Drew? Because I'm serious.
I am going to have one. I don't like to, I'm on a roll here.
The point is, it's National Chicken Wing Day.
They want to talk about the PGA.
Oh, all right. Well, you want to go grab a beer at the bar while they do that? Let's
From
just
one
get the hell out of
NBAL champion to another. I mean,
it. Okay, so I guess we should
They're
talk
going to
about.
go down memory lane here with the golf.
Okay, I don't think we even need to go further than.
This
than
is
that.
DVD extras bonus footage.
Extra innings. You can catch it nowhere.
No, you can add it on.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to talk PGA, that's cool. I don't. So Stenson's the leader now, right?
No.
He lost the lead since this afternoon.
I think in this segment we have to whisper.
Rory Sabatini.
Rich Beam had a great first round, by the way. You remember
Rich
Beam?
Beam?
Yeah.
How do I end the recording? What do I-
Came out of nowhere.
He's going to look up the leaderboard.
Robert Streb shot 63 today. He's 9 under. This is at the halfway mark as we're taping.
This is of the PGA, yep.
9 under par is where he's at. And he is tied with Jimmy Walker, who led after round 1. Jason Day, defending champs, 2 back.
Oh, Stenson was 6 under.
Stenson's 3 back. He's in there. Martin Keimer, 5 under. Brooks Koepka, Patrick Reed, 5 under. Harris English, Jamie Donaldson were 4 under. Spieth is
Thanks
way
for listening,
back.
everybody.
Phil is way back.
I think I have our playout music somewhere.
Yeah.
To play us out, what does that mean?
What does it even mean?
No, I'll write it and we'll do it.
Ricky Fowler, 4 under. I'm calling it. He's going to be in the final group on Sunday.
Ricky Fowler will be in the final group on Sunday.
With
You
what
gotta
color
hear-
hat? What color hat?
He's going to wear orange. Oklahoma State orange.
Orange.
He'll be there.
And he'll be Snapchatting the whole thing.
But Jimmy Walker will be your champion.
All right, you heard it here first, kids. That's going to do it for this edition of the
If you
Bullpen
were still
Podcast. Yeah, clearly you tuned out by now. But Drew, thanks for being here, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
And Brobes, Evan, safe travels to Rio.
Thank
Be
you, sir.
safe. Send us some podcast episodes from the road.
We will do one. We'll find a day to record. We'll do a little Skype.
Maybe if the signal's good on our Brazil SIM cards, maybe we'll do one more walking around or something like that. Maybe we'll do a Facebook Live.
I'm going to take the one Sun Devil that cares over to Spartan Stadium. We're just going to walk around for a minute and talk.
And if you guys do a podcast, I want a winner.
Okay.
All right, thanks for tuning in and checking out the Bullpen Podcast. By the way, we forgot to do this at the top. If you haven't had 10 wings by now, you shouldn't be listening. And follow us at the Bullpen Pod on Twitter, and you can Facebook us, the Bullpen Podcast, and email us, which no one ever does, at the Bullpen Podcast at gmail.com.
Still waiting for that first email
That
so we
first-
can give you.
Thanks for listening.
Regato.
What kind of show was that?
That was awesome.
All over, bro. It was pretty good.
Nobody wants a habanero wing?
No.
Nobody?
Well, I had fries, wings, and
Yeah.
Why'd you eat so much before?
I was